Hello, my name is Tiffany. I'm a colored pencil artist. Welcome to my channel. It's time to start on a new drawing. It's a rainy day in the neighborhood today, so what better day to do this? I will be the first to admit that I absolutely hate the planning stages of doing something. I would love to just jump in and do it. However, then I get frustrated because I haven't done the planning. Unfortunately, it's a catch-22. So we do have to do a little planning for our next drawing. I'll take you through the steps that I do, maybe show you a little bit of what it's like here today, and we will have some fun. Come on. Come on, Indy. You can do it. Just go potty. All right, we're back after a brief potty break. The first step for the process that I do to prepare for a drawing is to take pictures of my reference or possibly find pictures. For example, this is one I had just taken of Indy that was kind of in the moment. So I'm gonna do that one of him. It is very Indy-like with the rope in his mouth. But anyway, you don't always have that. Sometimes you want to draw from an object. So the first thing we need to do is to take reference pictures. So let's do that. One thing to think about when taking reference pictures is where you want the light to come from. I have a light box, but then the light would be all over the object. For example, all of this would be lit up. The bad thing about that is it is hard then to draw form and create depth because it all has the same lighting. So instead what I'm going to do is have lighting come from one source. Since it's rainy today and there's no sun out, I instead am going to use a lamp that I have in order to create the light source. Unfortunately, I use this camera to take the reference pictures, so you won't see any footage of me actually taking them, but you can see what it looks like when they come out. See, now there's a strong light source coming from this direction, which then creates shadow and shadow on this side, and it adds some depth to the picture. Obviously I'm gonna have to zoom up more, I have to adjust my camera a little bit better to actually take the photo, but I just wanted to demonstrate what I was referring to with lighting. All right, lunch is done. Got my Mountain Dew. I have already transferred the pictures I took earlier to my computer. So let's take a look and see what we've got. All right, so what I'm looking for is just basically how the image looks, what the shadows and angle and everything looks like. That's a pretty cute one with a close-up. I thought I'd do a close-up one with a smaller piece of paper to begin with. That's a pretty good one too. All right, and on to the squirrel, kind of looking for the same things. That one's kind of cute. Don't know if I'll decide on the squirrel yet today. All right, so let's go back. So like I said, I'm going to be doing this on a 6x8 and basically do it as a 5x7. So that's one thing to consider when looking for reference pictures. Another thing to look at is when you zoom in, are the details still clear? And this one here looks pretty good. All right. So next step is to crop it down to the size that I want. So I'm in my edit just on my computer. Choose the ratio that you want to go with. could do upright. The reason why I don't think I'm going to is because then the balloons are cut off. So we will do landscape. I guess the other was called portrait. So let's try cropping it down and do landscape. So it's pretty cool with the balloons, which are pom-poms. It gives a little extra interest. So I think that looks pretty good. I don't want to go too much closer, maybe a little. We'll see. Oh yeah, that works. See, now the collar's in there, and this is taking up pretty much the whole frame. So I'm just gonna save a copy. That will be the next one that we try. All right, so our next step is to print it. I really don't do any color correcting or anything like that because I do my best to make the colors match or correct while I'm drawing. So the next step is to print it. So we've got our printout. The reason why I print it out is because I'm one of those evil people that traces my outlines. I honestly don't think it's cheating, especially because I'm not exactly super great at tracing. I don't know if you can see that, but I still have to go back and just refine things. And also, an outline is not the whole drawing. So if you want to trace, go ahead and trace. If you don't, use whatever method works for you. If you do freehand or the grid method, most likely this video is not advanced enough for you and you already know all of that. One of the other steps to take at some point is to figure out the size. If you're tracing, obviously you need to figure out the size before you print off or before you bring it up on your computer or whatever device you're going to trace it on. As I said, I'm going to do this particular one in a smaller size, a 6x8, just so I can get it done a little bit faster. I have grand ideas of doing a large drawing, so whenever I decide what subject to do for that, I want to have smaller drawings, that way I can feel like I'm accomplishing things while I'm also working on the larger drawing. Another size is 9x12, which is fairly common. Obviously, there are a variety of others. We also need to choose the surface. For colored pencil, a lot of people do smooth. I find that I can't put enough layers on smooth with how I draw it this time. I'm planning on practicing to see if I can get better with that because I do like the smooth feel. And obviously, it's not nearly as grainy once you do have it, but right now mine is just too light when I finish and I can't add any more layers. There's also vellum. This is mixed media, which is, to me, is kind of in between, but that is what works best for me. You just have to find the paper that works best for you. So you've got your outline done. Pretend you can see that. You've picked out the size paper that you want to use, the surface that you're going to do it on. You have all of that figured out. The last step in the process that I do anyway is then pick out my colors. So this is the next one that I'm going to be doing. I'll probably be doing that and the crochet one. I might have a few going at the same time. We'll see how it works out. But anyway, as you can see with Indy, he's pretty much brown. He's got a little bit of brighter brown in there and then that rope in his mouth, which will add some color to it. So I have a tray that I use from one of my sets. And let's see what we've got here. I'm pretty much going to just pick out all of the browns. I like to go like darkest to lightest. You can do it however you want. I also am going to throw in these like lighter ones and orangey ones for his eyebrows. So let's do it. As I said, I'm just going to pick all of them out. I also have some grays already chosen for the white for him. If you've done white fur before, or even if you haven't, white fur is not white. So I have it picked out, ready to go. Oh, we need a little blue for his eye. He's got lighter eyes. So we also need a little bit of blue. Maybe we'll do blue gray. So here are the grays that I already have picked out. These are my blenders. I think I need this gray, and then I'm going to choose the lightest gray as well. And then just to add a little pop, I'm going to do this light blue as well. We will see how I end up. I have my pencils really handy, so if I need another color, I can grab them very easily. So I think we are ready to go. Most other people would test out colors, try to get them to match. I do not have the patience for that. So let's get started. As Indy plays us a little bit of song in the background, I now have this taped on this cutting board that I use as a smooth surface, just so that way the surface of my drawing board doesn't transfer to my drawing. I have it taped off, colors are picked out. I'm ready to get started. And that concludes all of the prep work. I'm so happy. I'm always so relieved when I can finally get started. I hope this helped you. If you use a different medium, your prep may be different, or you may have to do different steps. If you're just a beginner, I hope this at least give you a framework of where to start to figure out how to make things work better for you. As I'm sure some wise person has said, a little bit of prep time saves you a lot of time in the end. Have a great day, everyone.